love it. I absolutely love your intro, guys. The Black Super Friends and the Chamber Talk Show at it again. You all remember our last conversation. Did we have a blast or did we have a blast?
We had something.
Okay, so I'm going to dive right in. Of course, today we have Dr. Whitney is not here. We do have a guest host with us. Dr. TC is here, of course, Dr. April. We're happy to spar with you guys tonight. This subject, very controversial. It's about being compatible in relationships and intimacy. Of course, we're going to reach the climax, but first, I want to say thank you guys for taking time out this afternoon. How are you guys? How are you? How have you been since we last talked?
I've been great. So let me start with me. I've been real good, man. You know, my little boy just turned 2, and you know, and I'm enjoying being a daddy at the latter years of my life.
Yeah. Awesome. Are you saying late in the game? Is that what you're saying? Latter?
Yeah. My first daughter I had when I was too early in the game. So this one right here is a whole different experience, and I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. Okay, we got the ladies' man.
Life has been great, ladies. Since the last time we met, some things have happened. That's how life goes. But you know, when I weigh my pros and my cons, it outweighs it. So life has been good. I can't complain.
Okay.
And life is good over here, man. Just dealing with COVID, dealing with Joe Biden. All that stuff.
Did he say Joe Biden?
Right. Joe Biden.
Jojo.
Let's dive in. How are you guys doing relationship wise? I want to hear about it because I was looking at some research and it was saying the average relationship lasts for 2 years and 9 months. Let's spar. I want to hear I want to hear from the men. I want to hear from the therapist, and I want to hear from this doctor of education over here. She's actually over in Florida with you guys. So I want, come on with it.
What part of
the
Florida?
Ladies, man, come on.
Yeah, that matters.
What part of Florida? Because there's 2 Floridas.
I'm not in Florida now. I'm in Texas.
Oh, that's right. She is back. She's back.
Okay, 2 Floridas.
Oh, okay.
South Florida and Florida. Ladies, man. Ladies, man.
What's happening? Talk to me.
She just wanted to know how your love life, how your relationship's going.
It's good. I've been doing research too. So I've been out here on the land. Yeah, definitely. I've been out here on the land. I've been dabbling in the waters. I like it over here. It's all right. So I say that because I haven't, you know, committed or anything like that. But, you know, some prospects there and I'm seeing them. So
have you not committed because it's December? This is the biggest breakup month. So December 11th is the big day that's coming up, in a few days. And so I guess you don't have to buy any Christmas gifts.
No, I'm not the Grinch now. I don't do that. I buy gifts. I take care of those that take care of me. I promise.
What does that mean? Magnifico?
That means.
But listen, wait. But Zay, it's a 30-day window now. If he ain't met her yet, she ain't getting no Christmas gifts. You might get some cookies, a card. But nah, you might get a bag. No simps over here.
Okay, so we know for sure Mr. Hardy over here, we know he'll be buying something because he's married.
Yeah. I hung up my cleats a little while ago, and so I'm out of the game. And I'm forced to, you know what I'm saying? If I'll be sleeping on top of the house like Snoopy if I don't bring home a gift.
When you're married, the gifts just come in the mail.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's right with your credit card number on. You right about that?
Yeah.
Every day is Christmas.
Nah, I think it's rough on both sides. I mean, there's a lot of good. I had just posted a video today where a woman was on a show saying, "Hey, where are all the good men?" And we're gonna have a show about that. That just burns my biscuits. But you know, I've met some amazing people. I just feel like people aren't in the place to receive each other.
Okay. So I wanted to do this show with you guys because compatibility is huge now. A lot of people are lasting, and there are some things that people say make you compatible. Things like you don't question the love in the relationship, you don't want to change them. But this is what I'm finding: people on the dating scene nowadays want to change you, and so I think at a certain age, I don't know. I think it's null and void. What do you think?
Zay, you want it first?
I'm gonna have to agree. I think that's the biggest problem or challenge that I run into Don't change me. You know, I think that if you're going to be with somebody, be with them because you want to be with them. You know, don't make it a chore. So meaning, I say that because if I want to be with you, I'm going to change naturally because I'm going to learn you. I'm going to adapt to you, and I'm going to know your hot buttons, and I'm going to want to stay away from those, or, you know, be on top of them, if just depending on how I want the relationship to go. I feel like as the man, I'm in control. But when a woman starts to, I call it the iron fist in the velvet glove maneuver, when she starts trying to goad you where she wants you to go and you feel it, so a man starts to kick back, I believe that's where the problem comes in for a lot of men. I know it does for me. What about you, Horace?
I think I'm going back to my sermon about this. I feel like on the female side, I'm a man, but I'm saying what I observe. I think fantasy-wise, you guys look at this guy that looks like the guy you could be with visually and physically, and then you get in and you romance, and you date him, and then second, later on, you try to obsess, see what his characteristics are and what he's made of and all that stuff. And then you try to make that guy that you're physically attracted to or you're fantasizing with into the guy of your dreams. And I feel like that's a problem because the guy is who he is, but when he doesn't fit that checklist, now it's something wrong with him, but he's consistently been him.
I see, to jump in here, all y'all made good points, but I think this too. I want to look at it from this view. A lot of times, sometimes on those first initial dates, we bring our best representative, right? And in that representative, we bring in what we want to be or what we think we should be. And a lot of times, the other person is listening to that. And you might be saying, yeah, man, I want to get this business started. So she hears or he hears, you want to start a business. So next thing you know, they start pushing you into that place of starting business. They start giving you stuff, and then you really not ready for that. So then you think they pushing you into another level of life that you're not ready for, or holding you accountable for something, but you actually told them that this is what you wanted. So they just trying to be a helpmate, and then they get uncomfortable. I know as men, our egos kick in, and then it sometimes we kind of push back, like I need to run my life, or don't change me. But sometimes I can take this from experience. I told my wife I wanted to have a business, and then the first beginning when she came with a business plan and all this, all like just ready to go, I was like, whoa. And then you know what I'm saying? Because I was saying that, but I really wasn't ready for that. But she was, and she was ready to jump right in and let's do it. And then sometimes I think that get misconstrued. Cause I'm not saying Zay and Horace not right, because that is true too. But sometimes it's a thin line between somebody trying to help you achieve what you actually asking for, and then somebody pushing you to what they want you to be. That's just my point of view.
I want to add something to your data, Dr. Manning. You know, and this is just observation, when you meet somebody, you're in love, it's cloud nine, everything's great, blah, 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 right? And then something pops. You know, what's the cloud nine, whatever that little season is over, right? And then you will say he changed. But whenever that season actually pops and you see this person, so you date him for the next year, he's consistently showing you who he really is, him or her really is in that year. But you're still focused on who you met, despite seeing who they really are. And I think that happens a lot too.
Right. The representative, focused on the representative. Yeah. So that's two things there. We're going to talk about the physical in just a minute. We're also going to talk about the physical attraction and sexual compatibility. But I want to hear from the therapist. I want to hear from Dr. April. And then I want to get Dr. TC's input from that as well, from being on the dating scene. What it's looking like. The representative is showing up a lot.
Well, I agree with Horace. I think it's more or less not so much what you saw in the beginning, but it's more of what you fantasize, that future, because you see what this person is consistently showing you, like you said, within that year. But then you still have this grandiose idea of, oh, it's going to get better. Oh, it's going to change. Oh, I want this person to be this way. We look so good together. It's going to be good. And that may not necessarily be the case. You know, a lot of people get married and they already have issues and problems. I get a lot of couples that come in and it's like you're already arguing and going through different stuff while you're engaged. So did you think it was going to change once you got married? Well, yeah, I just thought it was going to get better. Why? If this was already happening before you got married and you were engaged, why did you go into it thinking that something was going to change? It's that hope. It's that fantasy. It's these unrealistic expectations that you create in your mind of what you want it to be.
Dr. TC, you've been dating lately. Tell us give us a pulse on the dating scene.
Yeah, that post is that post is dead. So let me just tell you, I agree with Zay. I think that a lot of times we do go into relationships with intentions of what we would like to have in a man. And I have been guilty, so I'm sure everybody on this call has been guilty as far as a female of just actually deciding, oh, well, if I just do these things, then he'll change, or he'll be this person, or he'll change this, or he'll stop doing this. But I think where we fail is when we go into relationships thinking we can change people instead of just being willing to truly accept people for who they are and accept people for their flaws. Because to me, in a relationship, is like you're not going to meet anybody perfect. So the goal is, who can you meet whose flaws you can deal with for life? That's the goal. And it's not about trying to change somebody into this mysterious perfect man that doesn't exist. It's like the perfect woman doesn't exist, but it's being able to grow with and love somebody whose flaws you can learn to deal with.
Okay, so let's spar men and women. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important are looks for you? The physical attraction, just looking at that person and them being a turn on or a turn off. What does that look like? I want to hear from you guys.
They smile. Listen, I took crap on the show for this because I said that it's about the essence of a woman, and they gave me total chaos. I would say 6, 7, because I would say it's how someone carries themselves. Like if she feel like she's beautiful, it's gonna exude from her. She's gonna carry herself in a way. I've seen some women that had some challenges, but the way she dressed, the way she carried herself, her making her funny, smart, that made me attracted to that person. So I would say a 7, because it's some things you just can't deal with it. We did the show the other day talking about what's a 5 or a 6, and we joked like a girl that looked like her daddy look like more like a daddy.
I think my daughter would fight you, brother.
Bro, oh my God! But it's certain things a person just can't. You're gonna look how you look, but what do you do after that?
Yeah. Okay.
Zay? Chris,
I chased looks before. I don't really care for them. I'm gonna be honest to you. I think I've had some of the baddest women, and their attitudes stink. So they made them very ugly to me. So I like what Horace was saying. I like a woman who's just comfortable in the skin that she is in, because her confidence is gonna kind of teach me something about her, because I know that she isn't easily swayed by certain things. So for me as a man, that's like, oh, okay, that's a notch. That's beautiful to me. But then everybody, and not being one way or the other, but everybody has something about them that makes them cute. You can be the ugliest person to this person, but to this individual, your nose is cute as a button. There's something about that nose that just makes me just crazy about you. Like complimented, or by, like Horace would say, confidence, or even humor. Just somebody that you can gel with. That'll make that person so beautiful to you from the inside. That's what I started to learn. So I bypass looks now because they don't mean anything.
Have y'all been drinking? Did y'all go to brunch? Because
No.
I know when a woman walks in the room and she's a 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay,
so let me answer that.
Mario's
gonna tell you.
I want the real black super friends to show up. Chris Leo just said 11.
Yeah,
he just said 11.
I'm agreeing with Chris. That's why. Yeah,
but that's what makes us different.
And these jokers right here are bull too, because here, every time we in the mall, I never seen them jump up and down when they seen the 5 walk on the lower shelf.
Thank you.
That's
so
why
I need to turn my audio up because y'all are tripping right now.
No,
Say okay. Like
I want you to understand this now. This is the part that Hart is not telling you. We do jump up and down, but how many of those have we talked about? Keep
bro. We talked about
it's just trophies. That's it.
All right, go ahead. So let me go.
We're in a narcissistic era where all these look at me, I'm so gorgeous, all that. They look like a bill, they look like a headache.
Doctors,
they be the
y'all
most.
buying it? Doctors, are y'all buying it?
Listen, most of the prettiest people that you see, look at me on Instagram, all that, they are the most insecure, aggravating, shallow, I don't got nothing going type people. So yeah, I'm gonna say, ooh, boy, look at the wagon she dragging. But that's about it.
No, I mean, you have to, the attraction has to get you in the door first. They have to look like something. Me personally, you have to at least grab my attention. You have to look handsome, you know. In addition to that, you know, smelling good, dress a certain type of way. All of that stuff kind of comes into the package there. So that's the initial thing. Now, do that person have to be, you know, 6'10", a model, pretty boy, and all this other type of stuff? No, because you do, a lot of women, when you look at guys like that, you do think automatically, oh, okay, he a womanizer. He probably got about 10, 20 other women chasing behind him. So I'm not even finna deal with that headache of having to go through, you know, all of that nonsense. So you do tend to gravitate to someone that's still handsome and that can compliment you overall. It's the communication, I think.
Can I say something? This is where y'all fall into a traffic jam. Out of 10 men, how many fall into that category, the handsome guy, blah, 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 right? The ideal guy. And what happens is all the women line up trying to chase this damn same guy, and everyone feels like I'm the one that's going to get that guy, while the other brothers, yeah, he might got a little stomach. I'm speaking for myself. He might, you know, he might not be chiseled up like Mario, but he a good dude, spiritual,
right. That's why
work every day. All of that, and y'all listen.
That's why I push back. Cause see, then it get like I didn't wake up in the morning at 4 o'clock to go to the gym. Like I didn't just get from doing work right now for my bank account to go up. Like so now because I did everything it took to get to this level, the women should just say, nah, I don't want to talk to Mario because Mario might have 10 women. You're right. I should have 20 women or 30 women because I put in the work to get to this point in my life. Well, a lot of women want me, so now I got to get punished. And then the guy who just said, "Well, I don't want to go to the gym," and "Well, I don't want to work late nights," could just get women too. I'm just saying, where's the diversity? That's why I think, well, look, my 10 might not be your 10, but I want my woman to as soon as I see her, my bells and whistles light up. I want when I'm laying next to her in the bed. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying your 11 might be my 11, but I'm never telling you I'm getting with a woman that I don't think is cute. If that's what your question was, how much is it important to me?
Right.
It's a 10 or 11. That's what Chris said to me.
That's
now,
what
you might think
so then with that being said, I did answer your question incorrectly because as I was saying, again, she's gonna look good to me, whether it's a cute nose, whatever that makes my heart warm, that's what's gonna make me go. Like he said, when I wake up in the morning, that's who I woke up next to, not this nigga. You know, it's a difference.
So a lot of women holding out for the handsome guy. They say they want a husband, but the physical is still number one.
But handsome is in the eyes of the beholder.
Right. You say that.
You hit your 40s. You really want somebody that's you want them to be stable. You want them to be reasonable. You know, you want them to be the man. You know, you want them to ask about the roof, and you not to have to worry about the roof if we've had a hailstorm. But real quick, Chris Leo said he's never seen you guys with a 5 or 6. All right, Dr. TC, I want to hear from you.
Okay, so I'm going to be perfectly candid because I think in my younger years, I was that person was like, nope, he got a belly. Nope, he's not ripped up. Nope, he's not 6 feet tall. Nope, he's not this, he's not that. I'm just being honest. But as I've gotten older, you know, it's just like they said, when you get to meet people and their representative wears off and you get to see this trend and pattern with these people, then you decide that that's not important anymore. So for me, I'm going to say a 7.5, because I agree with Dr. April in that it has to be something that's going to catch my eye. It has to be something that's going to get my attention. But once I sit and have a conversation with you, I need to get to know you. Are you ambitious? Do you have goals in life? Like, what is your personality like? Like, I'm a person that's a music lover and loves comedy. So if you can make me laugh and you love music, we already connected. And so, and I don't care. Like, I used to be that person, but now I don't care about something. You have a Santa Claus something. I don't care nothing about that. That doesn't matter to me. At some point in time when you decide you want to be on this health journey with me, if you want to go to the gym, yes. But am I going to stand over you and say this is a requirement because I'm trying to change you? No, I'm not doing that. So I feel like, you know, we just have to meet people where they are. It's kind of like the whole thing when people say, I really want this Fortune 500 man. Child, bump that. I'll take a blue collar worker. Honey, I'll add him to my insurance. If he's a good man, I'll add him to my insurance.
There you go, Dr. TC.
You winning. Quit winning.
Yes, these guys over there messing up. They don't know what's going on.
I done laughed my way into a lot of hearts.
I'm not adding anybody to my insurance though, but I do go with the 7. I don't like stomachs because it's a turnoff, and that's going to be the ultimate question in just a minute.
You're going to marry one.
I'm not adding anybody to my insurance. Dr. April, I want to hear from you.
Well, to me, I was the person, hey, that was attracted to Fat Joe for the longest, and people laughed at me. So, hey, I still, he done lost weight and everything, and he's still handsome to me. Ooh. So that gives you an idea of my broad and range. He don't have to be this, you know, hey, like this 6'10" and all this other stuff and all muscled up and all of that. So he don't have to fit that narrative. Like I said, he just has to be, you know, compatible with me. Like Dr. TC said, you know, somebody that you can align with, you know, your goals. What do they like? What are your interests? You know, being able to communicate effectively with each other and, you know, not bring a lot of drama at all. The arguments and all that stuff, those things don't have to happen in relationships.
All right. So as we move closer to a close, go ahead. Somebody was going to say something.
Yeah, Dr. I got one question. I want to, if you listen, because we have therapists on the line, so I just want to tap into y'all brain right now. Because what I've been hearing is people pair up ugly with good people and find people that's nasty. Like, it's like, oh, if he's 16, like all the characteristics of somebody who look good is like, I don't want nobody who look good because they have bad attitudes and they this and this. But I'll take somebody who don't look good, like in hopes like the uglier people have or the bad body of people have the better attitudes. When I've met a lot of bad body, ugly people with the nastiest attitudes in the world. So you can't just say that if I get somebody who doesn't look as good, they're going to have this amazing personality. They're going to be, but I see a lot of times, not just on this show, but in the world, people be like, well, I don't want that woman who got this kind of body or that because they think those are the stuck up ones or those are the, no, I don't met a lot of women who don't look that good and have the worst attitudes in the world, but they get talked to a lot because men look past the ones that they think is going to be high maintenance or have a bad attitude. And then some of those women are some of the loneliest women in the world because dudes automatically assume that she looked like this, so she must be there. And I don't think that's fair.
Okay, so what I heard you just say was we need to stop stereotyping. I think that's what I heard you say. Is that what I heard you say? Okay, so let's shift for a moment. We talked about the physical attraction. What about the intimate attraction? What happens if you get with a person and you don't sample the pie and you get married to that person? I really want to know. And you're not compatible. What happens? I got the therapist on here. I want to hear from her because I'm sure she has counseled some people in her office who has, in fact, anyway, I don't want to go there, but sexual compatibility. I'll just say it.
Press pause. Hey, well, look. They didn't do it before they got married.
They still do that?
At this age?
Okay. But to your point though, Horace, some people don't feel like it's an issue for them. Because this is the thing. Like, okay, for me personally, it's a deal breaker for me. Like, you have to satisfy me, or hey, I don't care if you paying the bills, sending me roses every week or whatever. If it ain't there sexually, I can't be with you. I'm sorry. But a lot of women beg to differ because some women don't like sex like that. So it's not a deal breaker for them. So you have to know who your partner is. If you are you dealing with somebody with a high sex drive and who love to have sex, or are you dealing with someone who doesn't have a high sex drive and don't care if you do it every 2 weeks?
Jesus.
Somebody gonna cheat.
Women like that got a partner. It's Jesus or it's the rose. I don't want neither one of those. Hell no.
I don't know. I saw that frown on your face, Dr. TC. What was that in regards to?
I mean, I actually agree with Dr. April. I feel like that's a part of the attraction. I feel like that's kind of like the man is the cake, and that's kind of like the icing on the cake. And you can eat the cake, but the cake tastes so much better with great icing. Not the bad icing, but that buttercream icing. So you eat the icing on the cake, but I think See, this can be at so many different levels because we can talk about equipment, we can talk about usage of equipment, we can talk about, oh, this just gets into so many levels. It's yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Listen, at our age, we doing it as much as possible. She's gonna be taller when we get this. Her legs gonna get stretched out. Listen, how? Like, life is hard. Women talk about orgasms. We should be trying to get you as many orgasms before you see the king. It is a lot for men physically. Like, I need that. Like, my day was rough, but poof pow, I put me to sleep. I try tomorrow. But if that ain't going down, man, I'm going to the job. I'm taking that out on everybody. Like, we work differently. Like, if I ain't got none, I can't think about it. Listen, I've gotten better over the years because I've grown. But physically, we carry that around. I do. Everybody might be different, but I do. So, you know, them roses is causing hell out here in relationships, but use me. Fire me or use me, but I ain't sleeping. I
see that look on your face.
Tell it.
I'm just laughing. It definitely has to be some compatibility somewhere. Unless somebody's gonna cheat. I'm sorry. You know, like Dr. Gibbons said just a second ago, she needs it. I don't care. And I know Dr. TC was saying that maybe, you know, someone doesn't have a high sex drive. Whichever person doesn't have a high sex drive, the other person going to go find it. They're going to get tired of the rose. I hear Horace say the rose, but they're going to get tired of it. Vitamin D is going to be on the menu or vitamin C. It all depends on which way it goes, but they're going to go find it. And they'll probably still stay and continue because they really want to be with you, but they're lacking that one said thing. So that's what I feel.
And that's true, Zay, because listen, not to go off topic, a woman can love a dude, but if he got a little thing,
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're going
you're gonna make up arguments.
Or girl,
towers up.
What about couples therapy? I know, Dr. A, have you seen any clients that have come in and that's been a major issue? Like, what if you can teach the other person what you need?
I mean, you can if the other person is willing, but a lot of times it's the physical aspect too. You know, we talk about, hey, getting on testosterone. Some men who are lacking, they may need, something may be going on medically is the reason why. So they may need to take testosterone and different little things like that. Some women, they may have, a low sex drive, low libido. It's some things that they can take and some things that they can do. So if you're willing and you really love that person and that is the only issue that you're coming into contact with, there's some things that you can do.
Okay, Dr. Givens, I like your answer. Willing. Everything is a choice. I just want to piggyback on that because what you touched on, not to get off subject, I think is a big problem that I see a lot of times where guys, I feel like don't know how to communicate or articulate our words really, really well to women. And then women are looking for something from that guy that he isn't able to tell her. So like something like sex, that's big to guys. And if he's not performing properly and you're not telling him the proper way, that's not going to be a good conversation that y'all can have, but it's a necessary conversation that y'all need to have, if that makes sense.
It's going to go right to the ego, and there's going to be an issue.
And so it's over with.
Communication issue. Okay.
But then the woman will probably be talking to him from a good standpoint because she's trying to save that whatever, relationship, whatever. But and that blockage happens. And that's something that I see. I don't know if you guys see that in your professions. Yeah. But we got to work on that. I don't know if we got to work on it from the standpoint of how the women are actually approaching the man about it, and I know we got to work on it as men on how we receive that information that's being brought to us. But I think that'll save a lot of relationships too, because then you can tell them how to please you. My bad, Horace. Go ahead.
No, before we go to Mario, I want to say something. I personally have met some amazing women. That's why we had the therapy conversation, who once you get into that safe space will say, hey, these are some things that I'm dealing with, or this is where I'm stuck at. The problem is, so with couples therapy, is sometimes the person doesn't have the courage to work through those things. They'll acknowledge that this is an issue I have, this is a trigger I have, but they don't want to move forward. And it's almost have one partner that is being affected by the lack of, you know, trying to get through this. So that happens a lot too, where, hey, I had this happen and I'm having issues with it, but they don't want to move forward through it. And it is affecting the other partner.
Yeah.
Making them cheat.
Sorry, Mario.
I mean, you got some people that want to tie you up. You know, you have some things that people aren't comfortable with. So that's a major misalignment.
Like tie you up.
Yeah, they like tying up now. What are you talking about?
Harder.
Well,
I mean, we're a mental health talk show, so the goal is, of course, to allow people an opportunity to hear things that will help them, practical things like this platform, being able to talk and to communicate, and if egos don't get in the way, maybe the relationship can be helped. But I'm looking.
Come on, let Mario get in. He trying to.
Okay, come on, Mario. Come on with me.
Hey, it's all good. I know y'all on the time restraint. You know how we is. So
We get it.
But I was just gonna say, you know, on our Black Super Friends, we focus on men being accountable. So I want to stay in my own lane, even though the ladies joining us. And I'm gonna say, as brothers, I think we could do a lot more on our end. For one, like as the leaders, I think you can ask more. You can intrigue, like you can make them pull out different conversations. Like you can find different ways to see and talk to your women to see what they want. First of all, the second thing is you gotta like right now. I've always heard that men always give out early and they be tired and all that kind of stuff. So when I hear women complain about that all the kind of stuff, I say, you know what? Let me get my stamina up. Let me go. Let me run. See, that's what I'm saying. Like when you like, I think women need to stop fluffing these men. Because what happens when you say, well, it don't matter if you don't do nothing all the time. Well, cool. Well, you get a couch potato. Most likely, he's gonna be out of shape, out of breath, and if he can have a big breath. But see, it's one thing on another. So when you say you don't care about having this kind of man, most of the time, not all the time, but this kind of man represents this kind of sex, this kind of talk, this kind of that. So I think that right now, when I get up and do this, this, and this, it's not because I want to. It's because I feel like I'm trying to be the best me that I can for my wife, because she didn't sign up for no Buster Brown to just lay around and then, you know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of times dudes do that. Be like, well, you married me, so this is what you're gonna get. And then women too, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's fair. That's just why I say a lot of times it's compatibility, but sometimes it can be you need to just simply try to do better, be better. The internet tell you everything. Research, seek help. Do whatever you can on your end to be better on your end, and then stop putting it all on the other person to say, well, we just not compatible. We just don't get along. Nah, nigga, you sorry. Do better. I'm sorry.
Well put.
Well said. I love it. I love it. Super Mario. That's what I know about Super Mario. All right. So we're gonna move toward a close. I know Dr. April typically ends with positive affirmations, dealing with whatever show we're covering. And so I'm anxious to hear what the affirmation is for this show on compatibility.
Well, hey, the affirmation can be something simple. You know, I am finding, or I can find the right partner that is compatible for me.
Right. Especially when 51% of Americans between 18 and 34 do not have a steady partner. I just had to throw that in there because I thought this is crazy. Like, not a steady partner between 18 and 34. So I love it. I love that you guys jumped on today. I know it was kind of last minute. I just talked to Horace midweek and he said, hey, let's do it. I love talking to you guys because you guys are so honest. That's why in the beginning of the show, I had to call you out because I'm like, what, a 5? And then Chris Leo came back and said he's never seen you guys with a 5 or a 6. Come on, Horace.
But this is the thing. That's what makes our show really work. You get 4 best friends that are all different, and you see us jab it out on the show. We're all different. They call me out on my stuff, but you know that is you got transparent 100% answers today, whether you agree with it or not. This is what we say. So I want to give you some insight before we go, Dr. Manning. I always see you in the gym posting videos time to time, you know, the good thirst trap. And so the dude with the belly, I mean, listen, you know, if you get attracted to some other ways, that dude with the belly, that ain't nothing but a month or 2 of, you know, refined diet and exercise.
You're gonna go to the gym with me, okay?
Yeah, listen, he ain't gonna mind working out behind you. You know what I mean? Dr. Cook, I want to applaud you. We just met you today, but you were authentic, and we love some of your answers. Dr. I ain't gonna call you what Chris said, Dr. Gibson.
Don't mind Chris.
Yeah, that's my guy. Hey, we enjoyed you guys. This Cass here, I love you.
Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And we hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I know I'm about to take a nap, so you know, brunch. I do brunch a lot, so you know, my after brunch nap. All right. Y'all have a great evening.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.